Get full episodes of The Damage Report as a podcast on iTunes and Android, and you can watch the live show every weekday on YouTube TV. George Soros is a name that you have probably heard any number of different times, generally coming from right-wingers. Although he is a funder and philanthropist of some left-wing causes, he's only really talked about by the right. He is this boogeyman who is literally behind everything, including the caravan that has been the focus of so much attention from Donald Trump at Fox News recently. He's back in the news because he was almost murdered by a domestic terrorist. A bomb was found near his home. Law enforcement officials in Bedford, New York, told the New York Times that an employee working at Soros' home found the package in the mailbox and called police, who were forced to proactively detonate the device. We later found out that it was a bomb with explosive powder. Now, George Soros was not at home at the time the bomb was discovered, so he was not killed. If it had exploded, he would not be killed. But just some people who had the misfortune of working for George Soros might have been murdered by this domestic terrorist, who we have to assume has been listening to and believed the many lies and conspiracy theories about George Soros that have been spread by the right over the years up to and including this week. And so what is the reality about George Soros? He donates to Democratic candidates and progressive causes. He's given at least $18 billion to his Open Society foundations to promote democracy and human rights around the world. He's previously supported people like Barack Obama and I believe John Kerry back in the day. That is the actual reality. But if you talk to right-wingers, he is in support of literally everything. Did you know that my car was actually bought through Soros money? I didn't know that actually, since I never got it. No, but we're bought by Soros. All left-wing media is owned by Soros. They probably own MSNBC, which somehow gets lumped into the left wing when it comes to George Soros stuff. Look, what you need to understand, if you are not daily dwelling in 4chan and the Donald on Reddit and all of that, you may not understand that George Soros is a very useful symbol for the generalized anti-Semitism and extremism on the right. George Soros is Jewish, and because of that, he is behind everything. God help him, of course, when it comes to the media. We all know that. But he is just standing in for the same sorts of boogeymen of the Jewish left that have existed forever. And the right wing will always turn to that. For all of their supposed support for Israel and all of that, when it comes to America, when it comes to Jewish people operating in America, there is always going to be suspicion at best, if not outright hostility, and in this case, murderous intent. And so George Soros, who lately has been blamed, let's go through some of the greatest hits recently. Donald Trump said this back during the Kavanaugh hearings: "The very rude elevator screamers are paid professionals only looking to make senators look bad. Don't fall for it. Also, look at all of the professionally made identical signs paid for by Soros and others." So you might assume that because he is the president of the United States, if he claims that an individual has supported this movement, that he would have some evidence for that. Well, welcome to 2018, you must have just woken up. No, there is no evidence whatsoever, he simply says it. These people who he's now referring to as a mob are paid for by George Soros, even though they are in no way paid for by George Soros. But we've been talking about the caravan, what about that? Well, Congressman Matt Gaetz, just less than a week ago, spread this video. Footage in Honduras giving cash to women and children to join the caravan and storm the US border at election time. Soros? He's a congressman. And he's not Donald Trump, so you might expect better of him, but he doesn't require any evidence whatsoever to say that this caravan of people who have joined spontaneously to try to improve their lives is funded by a particular Jewish billionaire in America. You simply say it. You say that all of the things that you're scared about, all of the things that are making your life worse, whether in reality or just imagined, all of it can be traced back to the Democratic Party, to the left, and if necessary, to a particular billionaire, George Soros. And hell, if in a country of so much extremism and radicalism and white supremacy and violence, if that leads to a bomb being left in his mailbox, man, you can't make an omelet without scrambling some eggs when it comes to election time. Now, thankfully, this time, George Soros was not murdered by this domestic terrorist. We might or might not find out who it was, hopefully before he sends another bomb his way or to other funders of left-wing causes. But do you think that they're really going to moderate their messaging around this? Do you think that Donald Trump is going to avoid baselessly accusing George Soros of funding these sorts of things? I don't have that kind of hope. Thank you very much for watching this clip from the Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.